Hi everyone, it's Kiki Halbert here. Thanks for joining me today for Stretch the Sketch and also the YouTube hop for Dog Days of Summer. So I thought that what I would do is I would use my kit again from Photo Play. That is I Love Dogs, or Dog Lover, excuse me, by Becky Moore. And I'm going to use some of the scrap paper that I have from that particular kit, but I'm also using craft for the background instead of a white background, just because I wanted to change things up a little bit, make it a little bit more playful, and I found that the white would make everything, all the red, very, very bright, and I didn't want it too bright. I just wanted a nice layout. So what I've done is I took the sketch and I made 2 strips of paper for the right hand side, and then the paper that has the paw prints on it, I split that up, and I'm just kind of playing around with how I want to use this to actually mimic the sketch. It's a little bit tricky. I don't often do 2-page layouts. If you're familiar with my channel, I think this is pretty much my second 2-page layout. That's 12 by 12 2-page layout. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of playing around with the placement a little bit. And the one thing that I have found that I enjoy about the working with a double page layout is that I can get more photos on there and still have room for larger clusters. And that's been a lot of fun for me. So I really decided this time around I'm going to use the 12 by 12 and do a double page. And I'm taking this striped paper, which was on the sketch, and I'm using it as the paper that kind of goes across the page that will match it. So I'm just roughly making it centered. And then, oh yeah, there goes my tape runner. My tape runner has a really, I don't know, I don't know whether I'm pushing down on it too hard or what, but I always end up tearing up some paper sometimes, and it just drives me crazy. I don't know. So all the more reason for me to stick with glue most of the time. But yeah, so I'm using this tape runner. I'm not using any glue here until I get to later. So I'm sticking with tape runner, and I'm using foam adhesive here today as well. So I've got the little bone paper on the right hand side with the paw prints, and I thought that was really cute. It also leaves me some room on the right hand side to do some journaling later. And the same thing with the left side. So I'm sort of centering the 12 by 12 double. And then once I've got those papers down, then I'm actually going to split the red paper down the center. So in the sketch, it had a title that was actually a circular embellishment. And I decided to use 2 of the cut-aparts from the kit. One of them I'm using as my title, the one that you see there, but to soften it up a bit, instead of it just being square and making it softer and more representative of the circle, I don't know if that makes sense, I decided that I was going to use the photo corner rounder. And I did the same thing with the other embellishment that I have that you'll see later on. So I know that I'm definitely, that's going to go there. Now, they had some washi tape or something, flags maybe, that were also part of the sketch. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking one of these cut apart papers. I'm going to use the strip that has the colors on it, and I'm going to take the collar one and break it up and turn it into banners. And I'm going to use that in a couple words are not easy tonight, I'm telling you. I'm going to put that in a couple of places, so that will represent the banners of the sketch. So some of these photos that I have of my dog, my new dog, I have also already scrapped. But what I've decided to do is I'm actually scrapbooking some of these photos because I'm documenting the things that she's doing right now. She's now been with us for a little over a month, and so I thought it would be kind of cute to document some of the stuff that she's doing with us or doing for us, some of her little tricks and things like that, and some of her funny expressions and faces. So I'm going to throw those banners up there on the top with my title, and then I'm going to work on the placement for my photos. So I have a photo of my husband and Gorda, and then a cute one of her, one with Nanook, one where she's she's on her back and she's got her belly exposed and she was asleep, but it was just the most adorable thing, so I had to take a picture of it. So I've got those particular photos. I love them. Now I'm not going to actually mat them with cardstock. I'm actually going to use something different, so stay tuned for that. But here's what I'm going to do with this cut apart card again. The sort of it's kind of like a picture my life card, but you know, they have them as cut aparts. So I'm going to use that where they have the journaling spot on this sketch, but I'm not going to leave that as being my only journaling. And because the title card was rounded in the corners, I'm also going to round the corners of that good dog card as well. So you'll see how that works out. And I think it sort of makes it softer, and it kind of makes it more cohesive as well. So here's where I'm going to use, I have some tissue paper, and I first saw this being used in Hip Kit Club videos by Missy Wyden, and I just thought it's a genius way of adding some texture but not a lot of weight, and it's a little bit translucent, right? So it provides kind of a backing for the photos, and makes them look really different and everything, but not too much. And so I like to cut them rather large and then fold them all up, crinkle them around and things like that. And it just adds some unexpected texture. And since she's been also, her first month that she was here, she was kind of into getting into tissues and getting into all kinds of things that were paper. So I thought it would get kind of appropriate to have that as backing for these photos. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm just going to back those photos with the tissue paper. And then what I'm doing is I'm just using a tape runner on the back, just directly on the paper, and then I'll line up the photos there. I'm not exactly lining them up straight with the other photos, but they are sort of centered. I don't know. Do you find that kind of looks weird? I'm looking at it and I think it's fine, but that's just me. But I don't know. Do you think maybe it would have been better for me to line up the photos on the bottom so that they were aligned along the bottom, and then the top ones along the top, or center them? I don't know. Let me know what you think of it. Do they turn out okay where they are, or do you think you would have placed them a little bit differently? Excuse me. We've got a really smoky night here on the West Coast, and it's been aggravating my asthma a little bit. If it's not one thing, it's another, right, folks? Excuse me. So there I've rounded the corners. I need one more piece of tissue paper for the backing of my last photo. And that one I'm making a little bit bigger because the photo's on its own. And I'm going to line that one up centered with the other photos. Yeah, there have been so many wildfires in the area, and it really breaks my heart to see all these people being displaced from their homes, and even livestock being moved. And it's climate change is not a good thing. So anyhow, so I've placed the other picture of Gorda over on the left hand side to just kind of stretch her out and provide a little bit of asymmetry. So there's 3 photos on the right hand side, and then 4 major focal points on the left. And I kind of like that because the eye is drawn to uneven numbers, and so it makes it a little bit easier on the eyes, and more appealing, let's put it that way. And I went really simple with this double layout, just because I'm so not used to doing double layouts and layering papers that way. So I'm taking this sketch and I'm making it fairly simple, just trying to, stretch the sketch to a double. Not every layout has to be complicated, but sometimes it's just nice to keep it simple and make the photos the focus. And so I think that's what this layout does. And I wanted to show too, the photos are the focus. This is a layout that's showing me the things that Gorda, the little memories of her at 6 months of age. And so that's kind of fun to see. So with this particular sketch, I had those two banners up at the top there, but I had some leftover of some scraps from that particular strip, and so I decided to create two other flags or banners. And I'm just trying to figure out where to put one. I've got one at the top right, on the right hand page, and then I decided to put one there on the left at the bottom of the page. And that just really works out for me. So with this particular sketch, one of the things that I loved about it was all of the butterflies that go on the right hand side of the sketch, from the bottom right up sort of on a diagonal to the right hand top, and then on the left hand side there's butterflies sort of around the bottom. And I thought it would be fun to take the stickers from the sticker sheet and actually use the little dogs and the balls and things like that to create little clusters to mimic the way that the butterflies were flying up the page. And so what I've done for a lot of these stickers, I've layered some of the stickers down, like the little toys, the balls, some of the little word stickers as well. But for the dogs, I'm actually using an anti-static pouch to take the stickiness off the back of the sticker, and then that way I can move the dogs wherever I want without them sticking down immediately, so that I can kind of play around with the placement a little bit. And that way I can create little clusters to sort of mimic the pattern of the butterflies. So you'll see how I create little clusters with the little dogs up on toward sort of the right, from the bottom left to the right, and then I create little clusters of dogs and their toys on the left hand side of the double layout as well. And I actually did find a circular embellishment with a little dog and some flowers that I put up near the title, so that mimics the sketch even more. But in the sketch, the round element or the round embellishment was actually the title. And so rounding the corners of those cut up cards to me sort of mimicked that a little bit, but the sticker just nails it. That just brings through from the sketch for sure. So I decided I'm playing around with the dog placement, you see, and this is why I put the little dogs on foam tape, and also take off the stickiness so that I can move them around and figure out where I'm going to place them before they actually stick to the page. So I've got those cute little dogs, the one that says the little brown and white ones on the left hand side, and then I've got the little guy with the cone, which is absolutely adorable. One of the things that I loved about this kit was all the little dogs, all the little puppies. They're just adorable. And they look so much like my dogs. So I thought, I'm going to use all the little dogs. I didn't use all the stickers on the sticker sheet because I know I still have a lot left that I'm going to create other layouts with. And I wanted to have a lot of the little word stickers to use. But I do use quite a bit of them. I kind of use them as captions for the photos. And you'll see as well, like I'm using foam tape for a lot of things, but some of the stickers I'm just sticking right down, especially like those little word stickers. I'm just sticking those right down onto the page or the photo or both. And I just love how that works out. And I noticed like up in the top left of the right hand side there near the picture of my husband that there's not much going on there. So I decided to create like a little word strip cluster there. And initially I thought, oh, I'll pop these up. But I decided not to. I decided to just stick them on. One I'm sticking half over the photo and half off. So I'm just going through the stickers on the sticker sheet and just picking out little things that I think are going to work. And I'm also checking off on the good dog embellishment on the bottom. I'm checking off the things that Gorda does now so that it's like a documentation of her at 6 months. And so the layout may be really simple, but at the same time it tells me the story. I am going to put some journaling on. You'll see me do that. But to jazz up the layout a bit more, I had some stickers from Spiegel Mom Scraps, or sticker sequins, excuse me, from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and these ones are Uncle Sam 21, and they're like super adorable. So what I did is I just poured out some of them. There's like some really big ones, and there's little stars, there's circles, but I thought that the colors worked with this perfectly because there's like some baby blue and aqua, and that's what's also in the sequins. So I'm going to use, for the sequins, I'm actually using the quick dry adhesive and from Scotch. And I think now they call it tacky glue, quick drying tacky glue from Scotch if you're looking for it. It goes like a really long way. I think I've been on this one bottle of Scotch adhesive now for, I want to say 3 years, probably. I don't use a lot. It's nice and thin. It is tacky. It's photo safe, of course, and it doesn't really run. But the only thing with it, I find, is that it can kind of make your papers wet if you use it, which is why I've been using the tape runner a little bit more. So here I'm using, this is just a Crystal Katana imitation that I got on Amazon. Love it for picking up sequins. Close to My Heart is coming out with one soon, their own pickup tool. I'm really super excited to get it. As soon as it's in stock, I'm going to be snatching that up, believe me. But in the meantime, I'm using the Crystal Katana, and I love it. And so I just put dots of the quick dry around the page to where I want the sequins, and then I'm just picking them up and placing them from the container in, and then placing them around the page. And I love how there's the big one on the bottom right. It looks like a ball, but it's got stars on it, and so I'm using that one almost like a little ball. And it's just, they're super, I don't know, they coordinate with this kit so well. Let me just put it that way. So I'm going to put a few more on here because I just love these sequins, and I have so many of them. I'm really sorry for the quality of my voice tonight, but like I said, doing the voiceover for this on a very smoky night, and from the forest fires that are in the mountains, and it's affecting my asthma really badly. Anyhow, sorry. So yeah, so all these little sequins, they're great, and I'm just creating like little scatterings of them just to add some glitz to the page. And you'll see in the close-ups how they really do add something to the page. I really love the way that they added to the little clusters of the dogs, and you know, they're just little bits of sparkle on an otherwise kind of darkish page, but they still look amazing. I think they just look great there. So I am going to put some journaling about Gorda on the right hand side. I'm not just using that good dog card as the journaling. I actually am going to journal. So I'm putting some lines down first with my ruler and hopefully getting them straight. So again, I wanted to say that this is part of the Stretch the Sketch Hop, which happens on the third Sunday of every month. And so the links to all the other ladies will be down in my description box. And as well, this is also part of the hop for Dog Days of Summer. And there's going to be another link of ladies down below who are playing along with that. And I'm really looking forward to seeing all of those layouts, because it was kind of, we said the Dog Days of Summer, and we said it could be about dogs, it could be about summer. It's kind of open. So I'm looking forward to seeing what everybody decided to scrapbook for that one. And I'm also really interested in seeing how everybody decided to stretch the sketch, because the sketch is so unique that I think you're going to see a lot of variety. So make sure to check out all those talented ladies. If you enjoyed the video, please give me a thumbs up and share my video with your friends. And again, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and click the notification bell, and then that way you will get notified of all my future videos. So I hope that you'll stay tuned. Hope that you're staying safe this summer and enjoying it, and that we'll see you around at my next video. Have a good one.